Greetings, friends. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm going to be doing a brief Facebook Live session today, and I want to talk about a timeless coaching tip that I'm going to call leveling the playing field. So we're going to talk about a timeless coaching tip called leveling the playing field. And this is something, of course, you could use if you're a coach, if you could use if you're a practitioner, and quite frankly, it's probably a good life skill to have as well when it comes to dealing with any human being. So I'm going to just take a few minutes, wait for people to pop in, and already some people are coming on. Thank you so much for sending the love my way. Hello, Miss Jamie Gandy. Excuse me, I'm so glad you're here. And if you all wouldn't mind, just in the comment section below, feel free to say hi. Feel free to let me know where you're from, and we can have a good conversation. So, and also, by the way, if you're an eating psychology coach or if you're in the training, feel free to identify that about yourself, because there might be people in this thread who are looking for you. Briananda, so glad you're here. Kama Navarro Lewis from Austin, also glad you're here. Hello, Allie. And let's dive in. So, leveling the playing field, what does that mean? Here's the deal. My experience to have the best possible outcome with clients, not just for the client, but for you, to have it be the most instructional, the most powerful, one of the great things we can do. Hello, Miss Linda. Hello, Miss Debbie. Hello, Miss Ann. And John Lynn. Thank you. And Jeramoka Miller. So the cool thing that we can do with clients is level the playing field, which means it's our job to make the person sitting opposite from us our equal. We have to be equals with everyone. And when we can create that sense of equality within yourself as the coach, something really juicy and something really powerful happens. Here's what I mean. You know, your client might be much younger than you. Your client might not have as much money as you, might not be as professionally or intellectually skilled as you are, or as emotionally intelligent as you are. Your client might be old and they're dying of cancer. They might be rich, they might be poor. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. We're all equal. Equal in the eyes of the universe. Yes, we're different. Yes, we have different skill sets. So you might be better at something than your client is. Hopefully you are, because that's why they're here to see you. You have some knowledge, whatever kind of practitioner you are, that they want to partake of. But that doesn't mean that I'm better than my client. What it means is, in this particular area, I happen to know more than they do. So it's almost kind of like bumping it up a little bit to the soul level, where we're all equal in the eyes of the universe. We're souls on a similar journey. You know, I learned very early on when I was working with younger people, and I mean working with teens. And I started working with teens when I was in my late 20s. And of course, I'm smarter than them. I got more years on them. I've gone through some things that they haven't gone through. And what I started noticing was that even though I was the mentor, even though I knew more, the truth was I had a lot to learn from them. The truth was I had a lot to learn from the experience. And the truth is, chances are when they're my age, they're going to be further ahead of the curve than I was. They're going to know more than I did. So I'm just a guy who's a little bit further along on the journey. Now, what that does, by the way, is it takes the pressure off of you. It takes the pressure off of you, because so many people who go into the psychology profession, the helping professions, the coaching professions, counseling, we think we got to fix everyone. We think we got to be so much smarter, and we have to be this fountain of wisdom and information and healing, and we're going to just show you exactly what to do, and you're going to be all better. Hello, Demi. I'm so glad you're saying hi. There's a bunch of people who popped on. Augustine from Northern California, an alumni. Thanks. Glad you're here. So, we're all equal. In the eyes of the universe, we're different, but we're equal. You know, Carl Jung once said something that at the time was controversial. it still is controversial, but there's a juicy kind of nugget in it. And what he said was, the goal of therapy is to become friends. My goal in therapy is to become friends with my client. Now, he wasn't saying I'm going to become friends with every one of my clients and invite them over to dinner and, take long walks in the park. When he was saying the goal of therapy is to become friends with my client, meaning ultimately we want to be able to be equals. They need to feel equal to me because they're coming to me because they don't. They're coming to me because I have information that they need. There are places where they aren't not feeling good about themselves, places where they're falling into a hole. In the work we do here, Institute for the Psychology of Eating, there's places where people don't feel good about their body. They don't feel good about their relationship with food. They're struggling. They don't know how to manage their emotions and their desires when it comes to food. They don't know quite what's going on all the time, so they don't feel equal to you. And what a win it would be if at some point they go, thank you. My head's above water now. And we can sit across a table and look at each other. So that's what I'm shooting for, because when you and I start to create equality, there's a magic that happens in a session. Because, okay, think of this. Check this out. Have you ever had the experience where you go to a practitioner, it could be a doctor, any nutritionist, dietitian, doctor, chiropractor, whatever it is, and you just had the feeling that they were sitting on their high horse, they're talking down to you, they're not really considering you, they know more than you do, they're far more educated. You know how bad that feels. It doesn't feel good. And you feel it. And they might not have ever said a single thing specifically that says I'm better than you, but it was a demeanor, it was an energy, it was a body language, it was a tone of voice. And you got turned off. Well, imagine if that was you sitting with a client. Imagine how turned off they are. But flip that on its head. Imagine if you're sitting with a client and you're clear. I'm here to serve this person. They're coming to see me. They're paying me because I know something, hopefully, that they don't know. So I'm going to do my best. I'm not on a high horse, nor is it my responsibility to fix them. We're all equals. We're all here to help each other in the way that we know how to help each other. Now, here's the flip side of this, my friends. A lot of times as practitioners, we, the practitioner, can end up in a situation where we feel less than our client. Meaning, oh goodness, when I first, probably in my late 20s, early 30s, I started practicing at a very exclusive health resort, Canyon Ranch, in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. Oh, love the place. What a great experience. I was there for many, many years. So many amazing people there. And I got to work with all different kinds of clients. And because it's an exclusive health resort, there's a lot of wealthy people there. And there's a lot of super successful people there. And I remember my first bunch of months on the job, people flying in on their private airplanes, and I was feeling less than. And I was feeling like, wait a second, why are you talking to me? You make more money, you have more planes, you have more things, you have more success. And I was just noticing I would sit in sessions feeling less than, which makes me less effective, which makes me less valuable to the person who's paying me that I'm supposed to be helping. That's not their problem, that's mine. So I have to deal with that. I have to raise myself up. So you and me, have to look to the places inside of us where we start to feel less than in the presence of another human being. Do you feel less than because they clearly make more money than you or they're more professionally successful? Do you feel less than because they're a man and you're a woman, or because you're a woman and they're a man? A lot of times that happens. A lot of times we just feel less than the person sitting in front of us because they're the opposite sex, and somehow that's what we grew up with. We might feel less than because they're a different nationality, we're a different nationality, different color. I don't care what it is, but you have to examine what that is for you. Because when you start to clean that up, you can work with any kind of client. I got to tell you one other story. In my early days, and this was really in my very early 20s, I used to work in a prison. I was teaching, believe it or not, in a maximum security prison. So they had an adult education program for prisoners, and I was so hungry to teach. And I was so hungry to teach anywhere, that anywhere I could possibly get an opportunity, I would. So I said, like, wow, I want to put in my application to teach a personal health class in this prison. And they said yes. So I'm expecting to come in and be with these prisoners, bad people, and teach them stuff that they don't know. But, you know, it's bad people. It's people who are just, I don't know, not high up on society's food chain. And wow, my first day did I learn a lesson, because it was so in my face. There was about 25 prisoners, men, in my class. They were bright. They were inquisitive. They were sharp. As a matter of fact, every time I said something that was either off, or that was insulting, or wasn't clear, or wasn't right, or wasn't stated well, somebody picked up on it. There were even moments where one of the guys in the class raised his hand and saying, you have to understand better how to talk to us. You have to be more real, because right now you're talking down to us and we're not going to hear you. And I stood there with my mouth open in front of everybody. I was thinking what to say. And it was a very interesting silence, because I'm thinking what to say. And then I realized I shouldn't even say anything. I just got to absorb what this person just said. I had to actually listen to it. And I finally said, thank you. I have a feeling you're right. Let's start all over again here. It was one of the most powerful lessons I've ever learned. Everybody in that room was my equal. Equal in the eyes of the universe. So, you know, again, there's a magic that happens when we level the playing field. I don't care how young or old or rich or poor the person is sitting in front of you. What do you do inside yourself to create that sense of equality? What do you do inside yourself to level the playing field? So those are my thoughts, my friends. And it is a beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. Here we are. It's winter time, and it must be like 70 degrees outside. That's such a good thing for a guy like me. I really appreciate you coming by. I really appreciate you being in this conversation. Do me a favor, feel free, if you know somebody who might be interested in this conversation, share this with them. And yeah, just be on the lookout. I'll be doing these a few times a week. And you have a great rest of your day, my friends. Take care.